BT's Business Report is sponsored by Dynamic Funds.
All right, welcome back. Let me clear my throat. Mike Eppel standing by. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Sometimes you just have a little frog in there, so we're good. It's Wednesday. I don't know where to go with this. The gas prices remain high, but this is a record, Mike.
Well, it's either at a record or very close to it. I've already forgotten how it was, but last month we saw gasoline up around $1.43, $1.44, and that's pretty much where we're at this morning, Melanie, and expected to climb higher here. The price for oil is close to $80 per barrel, and basically what's happening is, remember last year when you couldn't give oil away? It was, at $0 or below that per barrel. Well, now we're seeing the inverse. There is actually panic buying on the market as traders gear up for the winter time and where energy will be coming from. There's still a bit of a supply shortage with the North American system. It's also affected from Europe, where we're watching this morning the price for natural gas in some countries hit an all-time record high because of supply issues. And again, the market just saying, okay, they're prepping for the winter time. The Eurozone has a very disjointed energy trade. Some countries don't have any requirement for natural gas at all. For example, Sweden. The Netherlands, for example, is almost completely dependent on natural gas for heating fuel and to power electricity generation. And solar and wind power has not been consistent. So the market's dealing with all of these factors as we shift toward green energy. And then in China, this declaration by the government last week to buy all types of energy sources at whatever price, well, that sent the global markets into a tizzy as well. And now there's even talk that natural gas is getting so expensive in China, they're thinking about shifting some of their production back to oil and coal, which are the dirtiest of the energy production conduits. So the market right now is a mess. We're going to see this on our natural gas bills. Yes, we've got carbon taxes on top of a higher price for the raw material, but nevertheless, the cost of pretty much everything related to the energy market is on the rise.
Oh, good. Cost of living just through the roof with so many different things that you're looking at. Looking at the supply chain, I know you're watching what's happening with PepsiCo.
Yeah, they're raising prices because of their raw materials. Whatever they're buying on the commodity markets has gotten more expensive, or they're shrinking package sizes, or shifting consumers away from certain things to more profitable things. And Coca-Cola yesterday announced that they're having such issues with container ships to move product worldwide. Instead of regular sea cans, they're going to convert some iron ore and coal transportation ships to basically ship consumer goods. That's where we're at right now. And we talk about inflation. Everybody knows everything's gotten more expensive. The funny, or not funny, but the interesting thing is, Melanie, the consumer, over the past year, consumer wealth has actually gone up quite dramatically. So there is actually a lot of talk that people still have money to spend, and they're going to be spending it for holiday shopping and all sorts of other things. So, and it comes back to quality, it comes back to local sourcing, it comes back to all sorts of things where people will figure out a way to get around maybe higher prices, or they're willing to pay more for things if they think they're getting quality and value from what it is that they're buying.
Okay. Mike, very dramatic whistleblower testimony that we're following with regards to Facebook. And now we're hearing from Mark Zuckerberg. What's he saying?
Open letter to employees and the media, ostensibly, saying that what Frances Haugen was saying yesterday to the U.S. Senate is misrepresenting what Facebook is all about, that some of the comments didn't make any sense, that, if they're doing one thing to jazz up the vitriol on social media, a lot of advertisers have said they don't want any part of, negative or controversial postings. So he's saying, why would we do that if our advertisers are telling us to do the exact opposite? He made very brief mention about the outage talked in technical terms. It was something about a router. That's as much as I can give you. Sorry, I'm just, it was like, okay, whatever. It's like that's what took Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp all down on Monday. All right. But nevertheless, he's coming out in defense of the company, as you would expect Mark Zuckerberg to do. It's going to be an interesting point here over the course of time. He's the creator of Facebook and the CEO of the company, but there are shareholders involved. And if these kind of issues continue to pile up, then there's going to be questions about leadership at Facebook at some point. Facebook's share price yesterday was up a couple of percent. So Mark Zuckerberg made back about $2 billion in net wealth.
So he had lost 6, gained back 2. Okay.
2.
No big deal.
Back down this morning. The markets are a mess. I'll tell you that because of this energy market turmoil.
Yes. A trend that we were following during the pandemic is a lot of people leaving the big cities, right? Including in New York. But what you're seeing in Manhattan is a bit of a reversal.
30-year high for apartment sales. It was, a year ago where people were thinking, Manhattan's done. No one's going to live here. Everybody's getting out. They're moving to the Hamptons. They're moving to Florida. They're moving to low-tax jurisdictions. Lo and behold, people are moving right back into the city. So it's so fascinating to see how quickly we see these trends. We think they're going to be long-term. Nope, it all comes back. Now, again, is that a signal for the downtown core of Toronto or other major metropolitan centers where people come back? Have people been exiting those condos along the lakeshore? I don't think so. Right? They're still fully occupied, and in fact, the real estate sales data that we just got yesterday was the condo market was one of the strongest segments for overall sales on a year-over-year comparable.
I think there will always be that desire for some people to live, where the action is. I think there will always be that. So, I've
got a 10-story limit personally. But
really?
That's just me.
Come on, penthouse.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to get into it. I just can't go. I don't want to deal with elevators. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff.
That's a whole other story. Mike Eppel.
That was 25, 30 years ago for me.
All right. It's
been
still
there,
fun.
done that.
Still fun to visit. All right, Mike, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Right. See ya.